Welcome to the Gateway Korea Foundation's 8th Annual Chuseok Korean Harvest Festival. I am Mi-suk Yoo, spokesperson for the Gateway Korea Foundation Board of Directors and the Chuseok Festival Committee. Although we cannot celebrate in person this year due to the ongoing health concerns with large public gatherings, we hope you will gather with your family in the spirit of Chuseok to enjoy this online program, including an animated Chuseok story to learn more about the history and traditions of this important Korean holiday. A variety of Korean performing arts, from traditional to modern music and dance, featuring the Korean Performing Art Institute of Chicago and other local groups. Craft and folk game demonstrations, a folk tale and Korean traditional clothing hanbok demonstration. Thank you to many talented performance groups and community member volunteers for their valuable contributions to this year's virtual Chuseok Festival. A special thanks to the Korean youth ambassadors for preparing and distributing the Korean craft kits so that families can enjoy making the crafts at home. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Seung-won Yoo, chairperson of the Gateway Korea Foundation Board of Directors, to share a message about the foundation.
Hello, I'm Seung-won Yoo, Chair of Gateway Korea Foundation Board of Directors. I would like to welcome everyone to join this 2021 Chuseok Festival via online. GKF was founded in 2013 by a small number of people to promote Korean arts and culture, and now in its 8th year, GKF has a great mission to inspire cross-cultural appreciation and understanding among the American Midwestern Heartland community in connection with the Korean arts and cultural experiences. This is a very critical time in US that requires deep understanding of harmony, diversity, inclusion, tolerance, and equity. GKF has a great vision to become a cross-cultural organization as a bridge and gateway to achieve these very important values. GKF will be doing their best to use Korean cultural appreciation to promote greater awareness, understanding, and cooperation among the peoples of the world. By 2025, GKF will reach out to our audience more than 250,000 times with our content and establish ourselves as a key nonprofit organization to promote Korean arts and culture in the Midwest. GKF hosts 2 signature events in the spring and the fall. Dano Festival in June celebrates the rich tradition of Korean arts, while Chuseok Festival and Passport Korea in September is featuring the various aspects of Korean culture and tradition in music, performance, and plays. GKF started monthly webinar series last year, inviting speakers of various interesting subjects such as Korean immigration, Korean literature, and multicultural issues in US. GKF will continue this webinar and film series throughout the year and meet more people with the more interesting topics of Korea. I give special thanks to our partners, including Korea Foundation in DC, Dillon International, which support Chuseok Festival this year. GKF programs are for free to all participants. And as a nonprofit organization, GKF relies solely on the generosity of our donors and the valuable contributions of volunteers. GKF would greatly appreciate any financial support to help us continue to offer valuable programming. We invite you to get involved with GKF as a volunteer. Visit the GKF website for more information. I thank the current donors, volunteers, board of directors, advisory board, senior advisory council members for their gracious support. Please enjoy this great event. Thank you very much.
Chuseok, August 15th of the lunar calendar, also known as Hangawi, is one of Korea's biggest holidays, along with Seollal, New Year's Day, of the lunar calendar. Chuseok means autumn eve, and the meaning of Hangawi comes from the archaic Korean for the great middle of autumn. Chuseok is held around the autumn equinox, which usually falls at the end of summer or early autumn. Chuseok is the day of the year when the moon shines the brightest, the celebration of the great harvest. East Asian countries share similar traditions of celebrating August 15th, or Chuseok, but the activities and names differ widely. According to popular belief, Chuseok originates from Kabe, a tradition that began during the reign of the third king of the kingdom of Shilla. It was a month-long weaving contest between two teams, and the losing team would entertain and provide a feast for the winning team. Celebration of Chuseok began by visiting one's ancestral hometowns for a family gathering, during which people would make and share a feast of traditional Korean food such as songpyeon and rice wines such as 신도주 and 동동주. The major traditions during Chuseok include 차례, also known as 제사, the ancestor memorial services at home, and 성묘, when the family visits the ancestral graves, which are usually accompanied by 벌초, tidying graves and removing weeds around them. Games were also played during the celebration. One of these is 시름, when two players wrestle each other while holding onto their opponent's sappa, a red and blue band. Another is 강강 수월래, the traditional folk dance performed under the full moon in the night of Chuseok. 강강 수월래 was listed as a UNESCO World Tangible Cultural Heritage in recognition of its comprehensive artistic originality in September 2009. Finally, 달맞이 was an event when everyone went up on a hill with torches to see the full moon in order to have good luck for the rest of the year. Lastly, there is a famous saying in Korea, not more, not less, just be like Hangawi, which is said to wish for one's life to be like Hangawi or Chuseok, where there is a feast of delicious foods and entertainment all day and night.
Hello and welcome to Chuseok Festival 2021 presented by the Gateway Korea Foundation. My name is Gina Choi and I am the program coordinator at the Korean Performing Arts Institute of Chicago, or KPAC for short. KPAC is a nonprofit arts organization based in the Chicago area. We are dedicated to preserving, promoting, and developing the Korean traditional arts right here in the United States. And we're so excited to be celebrating the autumn harvest with you by sharing some of our performances. We have 3 programs prepared for you today: 가야금 산조, 선반 seoljanggu, and sangmo pankut. First, we have gayageum sanjo, which is a solo piece featuring the 12-string gayageum or Korean zither, accompanied by the janggu. The gayageum player improvises within a structured form, starting slowly and getting faster, showcasing both her technical skills as well as her musicality. Then we have 선반 seoljanggu, a piece that highlights the musical range of the janggu or hourglass drum. In this piece, you will see members of our youth performance group Junie Bae playing the janggu while also dancing and moving in and out of various formations. Finally, we have sangmo pankut, a piece that involves playing the Korean drums while also dancing with sangmo or spinning ribbon hats. The drummers are accompanied by a double-reeded wind instrument called the taepyeongso, and through their dynamic rhythms and acrobatic choreography, they're able to show off not only their musical prowess, but also their athleticism. Thank you so much for joining us for this event today. We hope you enjoy the show, and from all of us here at KPAC, stay safe and have a happy Chuseok.
yeah. 차디찬 한겨울이 덮친 듯 yeah. 시간은 다 얼어버리고 잔인한 그 바람이 남긴 듯한 어둠은 더 깊어버리고 벗어나리여 끝없이 펼쳐진 기약 없는 계절을 지워내리여 뜨겁지 못한 날들의 홀로 데인 흉터를 그물을 내리요 내 안에 눈물이 더 못살게 난 화를 내리요 더 화를 내리요 잃었던 봄을 되찾게 차갑게 부는 바람이 눈이 하얗게 덮인 마음이 아침이 오면 부디 모두 녹일 수 있게 불을 지펴라 내 너의 흔적 남지 않게 하리 못다운 원망도 훨훨 타리 쓸쓸한 추위를 걷어가길 남겨진 시들은 꽃길을 지려밟지 하늘 풀이라 다시금 봄을 누리라 추억은 모조리 불이 나 걸음이 돼 찬란한 꽃을 피우리라 난 화를 내리요 더 화를 내리요 잃었던 봄을 되찾게 차갑게 부는 바람이 눈이 하얗게 덮인 마음이 아침이 오면 부디 모두 녹을 수 있게 불을 지펴라 끊어진 인연의 미련을 품에 안고 시렸던 시간은 나를 태워간다 불을 지펴라 꽃빛 보이라
Hello, today we are celebrating the Korean Chuseok Festival with the St. Louis Youth Ambassadors. Our goal is to provide members with the opportunity to benefit and become involved with the community while developing leadership skills and gaining various experiences that help develop an insightful cultural perspective. Today, we have prepared a concert to share some of the beautiful music of South Korea. Our first song is Arirang, a Korean folk song considered to be the anthem of Korea. Its melody embodies the spirit of the Korean people. Next, we have Toraji Taeyong, one of the most popular folk songs in all of Korea. Toraji is the Korean name for the balloon flower, whose roots are used in the Korean cuisine. Finally, we have Dynamite, which represents the modernity of Korea. With the popularity of K-pop, more people around the world are being educated about our amazing Korean culture. We hope you enjoy our performance today.
Yuutnori is a traditional board game that has been played in Korea for thousands of years. It is most specially played during Korea's most important holidays, Lunar New Year and Chuseok. Playing Yuutnori was seen as an opportunity for family and community bonding, as it is a game that can be played by many people of all ages at once. Yuutnori was played as an expression of hope for an abundant harvest in the fall, as well as an opportunity to celebrate with lots of laughter. The popularity of this game and its importance to Korean culture still remains in modern Korean society. Yuutnori has undergone several changes over the centuries, but today we're going to be talking about how it is played in modern times. To play the game Yuutnori, you will need to have these pieces. First, you will need a game board called a 말판. Many Yuutnori game packs will come with one, but you can also make your own. Today, we've just printed off a free game board that we found online, but you can also make the game board as big as you would like, as long as it can hold all of the game pieces. The board consists of 4 straight lines and 2 diagonal ones that go through the middle. Each line has 5 spaces. The 말판 also has a home space. This is where all pieces will begin and end in the game. Next are the most important pieces of the game. These are the yut sticks. They are also called changjak-yut in Korean. Changjak-yut are 4 small wooden sticks with 1 curved side and 1 flat side. The yut sticks act as the dice for the game, and they will determine how many spaces you can move for each turn. Lastly, you will need game pieces. We call these 말 in Korean, which means horse. Each team will need 4 pieces. The only rule is that each team's pieces need to be distinguishable from each other. Most game packs will come with pieces, but you can also make your own using whatever is around your home, such as coins, buttons, or stones. Today, we are simply using some pieces from a different board game. Now, let's talk about how to play the game Yuutnori. There are many different rules and strategies to play Yut, but today we're just going to talk about the very basics. Yuutnori is played by 2 teams who take turns throwing the Yut sticks and moving their pieces. There is no limit on the size of each team, so they can be as big or as little as you'd like, and this is why it's a family favorite, because everyone can play together. When it is your team's turn, a player will throw the 4 Yut sticks into the air, and they will land on the ground. How many spaces you move your pieces is determined by how the Yut sticks fall on the floor. Each combination has a different name. If the sticks fall with only 1 flat side up, this is called 도, meaning pig, and your team can move 1 space. If the sticks fall with 2 flat sides up, it's called 개, meaning dog, and your team can move 2 spaces. If the sticks fall with 3 flat sides up, it's called 걸, meaning sheep, and your team can move 3 spaces. If the sticks fall with all sides up, it's called yut, meaning cow, and your team can move 4 spaces. The most special combination is when the sticks fall with all of their flat sides down and their curved sides up. This is called mo, meaning horse, and your team gets to move 5 spaces. If your team throws a yut or a mo, then you also get to have another turn. On every turn, your team can choose to move 1 game piece around the board. There are many routes that you can take around the board. There is no specific path that you must take. The only goal is that you try to get each of your pieces around the board and back to home base. If your game piece lands on the same space as the other team's, then the other team's piece must go all the way back to the beginning. If your game piece lands on the same space as another one of your pieces, they can form a group and travel together. But remember, if the other team lands on the same space as one of your groups, then all of those pieces have to go back to the start. The first team to get all of their pieces around the board and back home is the winner of the game. So now that you know how to play the Korean game Yutnori, you can challenge all of your friends and family to a game yourself. If you would like to play, you can buy a game pack online, or you can just make your own like we did. However you choose to play, we hope that you'll have a blast and introduce more people to this fun family game. On behalf of my family and all of us at the Gateway Korea Foundation, we wish you
Happy Chuseok!
In ancient Korea, there was once a small village where a gray rabbit, a red fox, and a golden monkey lived in harmony. One day, the great emperor of the heavens, who watched over them, decided to test the animals' loyalty. The emperor descended from the clouds and disguised himself as a lowly beggar. The fox, rabbit, and monkey became curious of their new strange visitor and slowly but surely approached the poor man. The beggar greeted the animals politely, but then weakly begged them to find him something to eat. The animals, generous and caring, set out to honor the beggar's wishes. The fox returned first, offering the beggar a freshly caught fish. Next was the golden monkey, who presented the beggar with fresh, sweet fruit. The rabbit returned last, holding as much grass as he could carry in his small paws. The beggar thanked each animal, but then humbly told the rabbit he could not eat the grass. Quickly, in a brave act, the rabbit took the grass from the beggar's hands, laid it gently on the ground, and set it on fire. The rabbit then jumped into the flames, sacrificing himself for the beggar's benefit. At that moment, and to the surprise of the fox and monkey, the beggar turned back into his true self, the great emperor of the heavens. The rabbit's honorable sacrifice touched the great emperor so much, he placed the rabbit spirit on the moon, where the rabbit would forever become its guardian. If you look up into the night sky, you might still to this day be able to see the rabbit making rice cakes on the surface of the moon.
지니고 가자꾸나 그리워 찾아와서 진정이란다 길을 힘이다 가네.
The traditional Korean clothing for both men and women is called a hanbok. Koreans wear hanbok on traditional holidays like a Seollal, Lunar New Year, and Chuseok, and on a wedding day. For men, this is simply loose pants, 바지, and a vest, 조끼, and a jacket, magoja. For women, the hanbok is a long skirt, chima, or underdress with a joguri vest on the top. This comes with a ribbon, gorum, that is knotted into a bow that sits just above the waist and under the chest. It's generally quite simple to wear, but that last bit for women can be difficult, the ribbon of the hanbok. Learning how to tie a hanbok is probably one of the most difficult things about wearing traditional Korean clothing. It applies for both men and women. Here is a step-by-step guide on how to wear a hanbok and tackle that difficult knot and impress your Korean friends without you having to ask them for help. Using the right ribbon, make a loop under the wrapped ribbon. Make a simple lower ribbon folded by center, using the upper ribbon, wrapping it around lower ribbon. Tuck the edge of this ribbon inside the loop, then put it all the way and gently tie it.